May the Lord bless you. May the Lord be with you. Welcome to those joining live. If you are watching the replay, welcome to this spontaneous live stream. I wanted to come on here to share a quick word that I felt God just download into my spirit. There's a possibility that we might not be streaming tonight, so I wanted to come on here and share this word. I know this stream was not announced. We just went live. So I pray, my prayer is that this word would encourage you, that this word would serve as a reminder that God is in control of your season and knows exactly what He is doing. I'm going to read a verse. We all know this verse, but I want to read it to you. It's found in Isaiah 55, verse 8 to 9. And this is God, this is the Lord speaking to a nation that is in exile. These people, the nation of Judah, Israel, they're experiencing judgment because they broke their covenant with God. They're suffering because they have committed a great sin. And the sin is that for generations they have rejected God. They have gone off to worship other idols. They have forsaken the covenant that they made with God. So because of their serious sin, Babylon took them captive, right? The temple has been destroyed. Their nation has been destroyed. People have died. People have been killed. The nation, there's just Israel, Judah is in a season, a state of hopelessness where they feel like, man, we're too far off. Like God cannot possibly, like we don't even have the right to pray. We don't have the right to ask God for forgiveness. We don't even have the right to come back to God. They were afraid. They said, no, the Lord is no longer going to accept us. He's done with us. And they thought that exile and captivity was the end. But you know what is so amazing? That in the middle of their captivity and exile and judgment, God speaks to them in a very powerful way. And He tells them this, and I'm just going to read verse 8 to 9. And He says, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, and neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. In the middle of exile, when these people are like that's it, we have no more hope, God is like, I want you to keep hoping because I'm not they had like this, they began to think that, God was not merciful, that God wasn't patient, that God wouldn't extend them grace, that God wouldn't give them another chance. They began to have this different idea of God, and the Lord was like, I'm not the version that, like, you have a version of me that is wrong. And you think I can't forgive you. You think I can't pull you out of judgment. You think that I'm leaving you in exile because you deserve it. And that's just the type of God I am. No, God was like, I want you to hope in me. I want you to know that I'm not the way you think I am. My ways are so much higher. Yes, you're experiencing judgment. He was telling Israel, yes, Babylon has taken you captive, but this is not the end. I have so much more in store. There is a huge restoration coming. There's a new covenant. There's something different that I'm about to do. And so their confidence, Israel's confidence was completely shattered. And again, they felt like there's no way God could possibly do something for us. But the Lord reassures them when He says, my thoughts are nothing like your thoughts, and my ways, my plans are nothing like your plans. God was reassuring them of His character. And it's so interesting how in a season of judgment where they lost everything, they began to question and twist, right? Their reality was twisting God's character and God's truth and God's word. But God was reassuring them that he doesn't change, that people can be unfaithful and he is still faithful, that people can still sin and make mistakes and God still lifts them up and restores them. He also wanted them, he gave them this reassurance that his plan was still going to move forward. Like, regardless of their sin, regardless of how bad they messed up, God was like, I'm still moving forward with my plan. I'm still going to bring you out of this. And that's grace. That is grace that Israel didn't deserve, that we don't deserve. And it's so amazing how in the middle of exile, God is telling them, my thoughts for you, they're nothing like you have thoughts of despair and thoughts of hopelessness and thoughts, you are depressed and your thoughts are full of anxiety and you think that this is the end and you think that nothing good will come out of this. But God was saying, what you're thinking right now is nothing close to what I'm thinking. What you're planning, what you're thinking, what you're meditating on is nothing close to what I have for you. And the Lord spoke to me with this passage right here to encourage you, to remind you that in your worst season, you can know that God's thoughts are nothing like the ones you're having right now. You may have a different plan, you may have a different outlook, a different perspective. God's are always higher. And it's so amazing how the Lord compares his thoughts, like he compares it to heavens being higher than the earth. He said, just as the heavens are higher than the earth, like that is obviously a huge gap. And God is trying to help us understand with visuals just how much different, just how much higher, just how much better his plans are. And it was in that moment of despair and hopelessness that Israel had to hold on to this, that, okay, it seems like a hopeless case. It seems like everything is gone. This seems like it's the end, but God wanted them to hold on to this, that what I'm about to do is so much greater. Sometimes, these people are experiencing judgment. Like, these people really messed up and they're going through judgment. We might not necessarily be experiencing judgment, but we may be experiencing seasons, things that we never thought we were going to face, or that we never thought that we were going to experience. Or maybe you're going through a season where you thought a certain prayer was going to get answered by now. Maybe you thought that there was something specific in your life that was supposed to happen already, and maybe it hasn't. And it's in those seasons of confusion and discouragement and despair where you say, God, your thoughts for me, they are nothing like mine. They can't compare to mine. And I'm being reminded of this other verse, Psalm 139:17, where David says, how precious to me are your thoughts, O God. How vast, how large is the sum of them all. Like, my goodness, in your worst season, in your worst valley, we have all these thoughts, right, that just come into our head and it messes with our head. And it's our current situation is trying to make us twist who God is. We're believing this different version of God that is not even biblical, that is not even true. And it's in those moments where we have to remember, okay, God, these are my thoughts, these are my plans, this is the way I'm looking at things, this is the way I'm feeling. But I trust in this moment what your word says, that your thoughts for me are so precious. He says, David says, how vast is the sum of them. God, in my worst season, his thoughts are higher for me. Like, he has this amazing plan that I can't see in the moment. And just because I can't see it doesn't mean it's not real or it's not happening. God, if his thoughts are numerous, David in one occasion said, your thoughts, they outnumber the grains of the sand. Your thoughts for me, your plans for me, Your ways for me, they outnumber the grains of the sand. Like when you think about that, that's what you hold on to. That's what I hold on to. That's what David was holding on to. That's what Israel had to hold on to when they were in captivity. When they were in captivity. So I love how even in judgment, God is saying, I want you to have hope. Like what kind of God, what kind of God encourages his people who have sinned, who have broken the covenant, who have failed to serve God with all of their heart, soul, and mind? What kind of God is encouraging people when they have just forsaken him? And that's a beautiful thing about the Lord, is that when we are unfaithful, God is faithful. When we're distant, even then God is near. When we just fall, stumble, make mistakes, the Lord is there. And the next thing he says, and I'm going to share verse 10 to 11, God is still speaking to Judah, and he says, for as the rain and the snow come down from heaven and do not return there, but they water the earth, making it bring forth and sprout, giving seed to the sower and bread to the eater, so shall my word be that goes out from my mouth. It shall not return to me empty, but it shall accomplish that which I propose, and shall succeed in the thing for which I sent it. God was saying, just as rain and snow come down from heaven, and they don't return back from where it came from until they fulfill its intended purpose, right? To water the earth, to make it to give seeds to the sower, bread to people, bread to the eater. God is saying, in the same way, when I release a word over your life, he says, that word, it cannot go back empty. It's going to go and water down what it's supposed to water down. It's going to go and nourish. It's going to go fill. It's going to accomplish what he sent it to accomplish. So when God sends them this message saying, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. God wanted, this message was meant to bring them encouragement. This message was meant to wake up hope. Once again, this message was meant to give them a different view or idea or perspective of God. He wanted them to look to him and look toward that restoration. And so what God was sending out, this message was meant to be received in their hearts, and cultivate that word and hold on to that word. Every single time God speaks over your life, he says, like, that word can't return back empty. It's going to return to me with the results with the results I've determined. So you may be in a season where God, spoke to you about something he was going to do, something he was going to change. And you may be in a season where you're like, I don't see any of it. I see just the opposite. I'm not seeing anything, Lord, that you have spoken to me about. In that moment, remember that word that God spoke to you years ago, months ago, weeks ago, days ago, it won't return back void. When God speaks, he says it accomplishes that which I propose. And so I just want to encourage you, biblically speaking, in every story in the Bible, and I talk about this often, people who were holding onto a promise from God were going through just the opposite. We're talking about God promising Abraham descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and numerous as the sand in the sea. And yet for years, Abraham and Sarah can't have a child. But God spoke it. God spoke it. But there was a season where they just had to hold on to God and say, you know what? God, you spoke it, and we know that that can't return back to you void. You spoke it, it doesn't make sense to us. We're getting older, like, Lord, like this does not look like it's working out. But it's right there where they remember God's thoughts, nothing like my thoughts. God's ways, nothing like my ways. Same thing with David, the same thing with Moses, same thing with Elisha, the same thing with every single person in the Bible. Like, they all had this idea of maybe how God was going to do things, how God was going to move things, how God was going to do their own plans, the plans that they had. But they were just, they experienced a life where most of their lives they were living this, it looked like a contradiction. It looked like they were living not in God's promises, but outside God's promises. But when we read the Bible, when we see this pattern, I really believe that the Lord does this to teach us that truly his ways are higher and truly his thoughts are higher. It may not make sense. And for us, we're like, well, Lord, why do I have to wait so long? Why can't you just restore this right now? Why can't you just change this right now? Why can't you just make a way right now? And those are questions that we will bring to the Lord, and we might not always know why. We might not always understand why. Job never got the answer. Job never got the answer. My goodness. Job had all these questions. Lord, why me? Why did this happen? What did I do, Lord, to deserve this? Job never got the answer. But he did receive a new revelation of God. He said, my ears had heard of you, but now my eyes have seen you. Like I served you because of who I heard you to be, but now I've seen you. Now I've experienced your faithfulness. Now I've experienced the way that you were with me when nobody else understood what I was facing. We won't always know why, but we can hold on to this, that his ways are so much higher. And when we surrender, because it's going to take surrender, you're going to have to let go of your understanding. You're going to have to let go of control, let go of all those things, and just trust that, okay, Lord, I know, Lord, your word tells me that you are faithful, that your thoughts for me, your plans for me, they're nothing compared to what I had for me. And when we surrender, we just let go, let God be, let God do what he wants to do. I think we step into this journey of just falling in love with God, and the things that he can give, the promises he's made, we expect them with joy, and we will rejoice when we receive those. But when you step into that journey, my goodness, you just fall in love with God, with the person of God, and you're like, Lord, even if you take me to the promised land or you don't, I'm fine, because I've met the one who can satisfy me. I've met the one who loves me. I've met the one who shows me grace. I've met the one who walks with me. Kind of like when Moses said, Lord, if your presence is not going with me, with us to the promised land, don't even take us out of here. Like, I prefer a wilderness with you than a promised land without you. I prefer a wilderness knowing that you are with me, because your presence is enough. Your presence is my reward. Your presence is my treasure, is my delight. So, point is that the Lord, not me, the Lord wants you to think about this today. And the season where you are at, remember that it may not make sense to you. Even those days where you're just doing life and it seems basic and it seems like, something that I've been thinking about lately is when we think about obedience and following the walk, the will of God, we think that, we have to, like, how do I say it? It's kind of like I'm jumping to every story, but just I pray that you receive what the Lord is speaking tonight. Like Elijah, he had all these amazing experiences with the Lord, these amazing miracles, fire coming down from heaven, the Lord providing in supernatural ways. And he obeyed in those moments. But true obedience will be proven not in those great and amazing moments, but in your daily life, in simple obedience, in the small steps, in practical life. And sometimes we might be expecting these huge moments, right? When God is like, I just want to walk with you through this life. I just want to have communion with you every single day. I just want to walk by your side. Don't wait for something major to say, oh, God loves me. Oh, this is God. This is how I know I'm favored by God. No, it's in the small things. It's in the little things. It's in daily life. And I don't know why I'm saying this, but I pray that this is encouraging for you. Know that your season may not make sense to you, but it makes a lot of sense to God. Obviously, because He is in control. You might have had a different plan right now. You might have had a different goal. I thought I would be doing something different in life at this point in my life. But God proves us wrong all the time. And we see that truly His plan is so much greater. So I encourage you to meditate on this word. Think about the numerous thoughts, plans that God has for you. Think about how those are so much higher than your own and hold on to that. Israel had to hold on to this in the middle of exile. They had to say, you know what? I don't get it, Lord. We're experiencing judgment. Everything has been destroyed. Everything has been taken away from us. It feels like this is hopeless. Like there is absolutely no more, like no sign of life here. And God is like, wait a second. I need you to know that my plans for you are so much greater. So hold on to that even in exile. So hold on to that. Know that some things, I shared a short message on Telegram, I think on Monday. And I spoke about how sometimes some things will end in our lives and they may feel like endings, but they're, it's those endings, God uses it for something greater. Kind of like when Lazarus died. Mary and Martha were like, Lord, if you had come sooner, if you had only been here, our brother would not have died. And all along, Jesus was like, he had to die so I can prove to you that I raise up the dead, that I am the resurrection and I am the life. He had to die so I can show you another side of me that you haven't seen. And it's interesting that Jesus said his death will not, or this sickness will not lead unto death. And you might say, well, but he did die. But the key word is that it won't end like that. Yes, he died, but it won't end in death. Some things end in our lives, and sometimes they have to end for us to see a different side of God we haven't seen. Sometimes God allows things that don't make sense. It didn't make sense to Martha and Mary. Why would you let our brother die? The one whom you love. They would tell Jesus, the one whom you love is sick. Why did you let him die? Jesus said, I'm about to show you that I am the resurrection and the life. Some things don't make sense to us. If Lazarus was your brother, if I was Mary and Martha, Lazarus was my brother, I would be like, Lord, why didn't you come sooner, God? Because I didn't know the full picture, but God knows the full picture. And when I don't know the full picture and something is happening in my life that doesn't make sense, I trust God. And you can trust God, knowing that He has your best interest at heart. He knows what He's doing. He's not going to leave you. He's not going to abandon you. He's not going to leave things, halfway. He's not just going to forsake you and say, you know what, you're too much. I'm just going to leave you here. No, the Lord is not like that. So, be encouraged by this word. I really feel this from God today. Rejoice at the fact that He has beautiful plans for you. Just say, Lord, lead me to your perfect will. I want to experience those plans. I want to walk in your will. I just want to experience you, God, in the season that I'm at. My season may be horrible. My season, God, is not comfortable. It's uncomfortable. I'm full of despair. I feel hopeless. But God, in this moment, Lord, I will remember that your thoughts and plans for me, they're so much greater. You may be in the most uncomfortable season of your life. And God is like, you don't even know how I'm about to use this for your next season. You don't even know how I'm preparing you for that next thing I have for you. Sometimes God prepares us in ways that we were like, well, Lord, like, did I really have to be prepared this way? And even God's preparation may be so different from ours. So, point is, everything God does in our lives is sometimes it's not going to make sense, and it will make you question God's faithfulness. Your reality will make you twist God's character. It will make you believe that God has forsaken you, that God is mad at you, that God hates you. And I say this because I've been through it. I've felt it when I'm like, Lord, I feel like you've forsaken me. I feel like I feel like you played with my feelings. I feel like I've been deceived. Obviously those are my feelings, my heart being poured out to the Lord. But we all feel this way. But don't let your season make you twist God's character. Hold on to the Lord. Know that He is faithful. Know that He is with you. Know that He will never leave you or forsake you. That's not God, and that will be people, but that won't be the Lord. So, and God knows how to use everything for good. So hold on to this word. I pray that this was a blessing for you. I'm able to see I saw some people giving through the super chat stickers, but may the Lord, I'm not sure if I can click on them through my phone, but may the Lord bless you. Thank you for giving. I just wanted to come on here to share this word of encouragement and just remind you of something that you already know, but sometimes we just need the reminder. And we need someone to help us remember, oh yeah, God's thoughts are higher for me. Sometimes our own seasons just make us forget simple truth. So the Lord is here to tell you this, to encourage you tonight, or to encourage you in this afternoon. The reason why we're doing a kind of like a quick spontaneous stream is because I will probably not be able to stream tonight. I will be serving at a youth service, at my church's youth service. So I felt God download something. I was like, I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna share what God put in my heart right now. And I know it's for someone. If you're watching the replay, I pray again that this was a blessing for you. And God willing, I will see you. We might do a stream tomorrow, actually, because I won't be available Friday. But I pray that this was a blessing for you. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord be with you. Thank you for those who joined us spontaneously. I did not announce this. But thank you again for your support, your prayers, your words of encouragement. Really, I mean it. I'm so blessed to see that you all are connected here, even at a different time. So thank you once again for your prayers. Know that we are covering you in prayer. You can send us an email, a message You can leave a comment too. If you have a prayer request, know that we are praying. We're keeping you in prayer. So may the Lord bless you. May the Lord be with you. I will see you, God willing, tomorrow. Many, many, many blessings.